I'm so frustrated that Andrew Berry did this, that Andrew Berry spent a top 100 pick on this guy, that Andrew Berry and the Browns are shoving this guy down fans' throats, trying to tell you, yeah, he can play. He's a serious guy. Like, no, he's not. You're not serious people.
Chris, I've heard from people around the league that cannot believe the Browns have not prepared Shedeur Sanders to play, and they're 2-6, and it's what are you waiting for?
For months, the Cleveland Browns had the most confusing quarterback situation in football, and going into week 9 of the regular season, it hasn't gotten any better. After their week 1 starter Joe Flacco underperformed through 4 games, the Browns decided to give their backup Dillon Gabriel a shot under center. And now, after trading Flacco to their in-division rival, the Cincinnati Bengals, Cleveland has made it clear that they planned on sticking with Dillon Gabriel, but I'm not sure if they feel the same way a month later. The Browns gave Gabriel his chance, but he very well may have literally and figuratively thrown it away already. Now, real quick before we get to this video is sponsored. As someone that takes fitness really seriously, making sure that I get the right meals in my diet are very important to reach my lifestyle goals. At the same time, with running multiple YouTube channels and trying to create a social media business on top of my fitness goals, just planning what to eat is so complicated, which is why I personally love HelloFresh. HelloFresh has a variety of menu options, which allows you to swap out veggies and proteins. It's like having a customizable restaurant menu at home. They have way larger portions now, and I was able to host a dinner party and serve them dinner as a result of it. HelloFresh has a premium protein selection. Before, most of the protein options were just chicken. Now you can add premium steak and seafood at no additional cost. We're talking meals that feel like date night but at home. And probably my favorite part is how they're so focused on giving you more protein. I need to get 205 grams of protein in a day, and there's new HelloFresh recipes that help me hit my protein targets without sacrificing flavor. Give HelloFresh a chance by using my promo code MikerophoneFM at HelloFresh.com for 10 plus meals plus free breakfast for life. There's 1 free meal per box with an active subscription, and free meals are applied as a discount on the first box. New or returning subscribers only, varies by plan, but sign up today. Click the link below or use my promo code MikeroPhoneFM at HelloFresh.com. And thank you, HelloFresh, for today's sponsor. Mic check 1 2 1 2. What's going on, everybody? The Cleveland Browns have given Dillon Gabriel the keys to the ship, but after his first full month as the starter, his job may already be in jeopardy. All throughout the offseason and the preseason, Kevin Stefanski and the Browns made it clear that they prefer Dillon Gabriel to Shedeur Sanders. I mean, just take a look at the Browns' reaction when they drafted Shedeur Sanders. Does this look like a front office that wanted to take Shedeur in the 5th round? It's kind of crazy because every single person that's not involved with the organization saw that Shedeur was the better quarterback. Still, they rode with Dillon Gabriel. They gave him 4 games leading into their week 9 bye, and boy, he has been rough to say the least. In Gabriel's 4 starts so far this season, he has completed 59.4% of his passes for 683 yards, 4 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions, all while leading the Cleveland Browns to a 1-3 record, with his only win coming against a disgruntled Miami Dolphins team. Now, those aren't good numbers on paper by any means. That's 171 yards and a touchdown per game. However, what stands out to me the most with his numbers thus far is his completion percentage. Gabriel's 59.4% completion percentage is actually higher than Joe Flacco's 58.1% in his 4 starts, but despite that, Gabriel has thrown for 113 fewer yards than Flacco did. Dillon Gabriel is quite literally incapable of throwing the ball past the sticks, and it's hurting the Cleveland Browns offense more than anybody could imagine just based on his numbers. Just take a look at this passing chart from Sunday against the New England Patriots. 5 of Gabriel's 21 completions were behind the line of scrimmage. 14 of them were within 10 yards, and only 2 of them were past 10 yards, with them still being less than 15. And funny enough, those were both touchdowns. Now, they weren't improbable plays or anything like that, but that right there is proof alone that moving the ball past the sticks is beneficial in the NFL. I mean, the guy only attempted 1 pass past 20 yards in his 35 pass attempts. That's absolutely absurd. Now, the stats aren't the only thing showing Dillon Gabriel's incompetence under center. The film from his first 4 games has screamed that he's not an NFL starting quarterback. I'm going to show you a few clips from specifically his last game against the New England Patriots, because even though he had 3 games under his belt at this point, this was still his worst game as a professional quarterback. He's somehow already declining. All 3 clips I'm going to be showing you here are from the second half, which makes things so much worse considering that Cleveland was only down 9 when this first play happened. Here the Browns are in a 3rd and 7 situation at their own 33-yard line, with New England coming out in a nickel formation, including a solid 7 guys in the box, due to this being an obvious passing down. Seeing that, it's safe to assume that New England is going to send pressure, looking to get to Dillon Gabriel as quickly as possible and prevent a completion past the sticks, which is exactly what ends up happening. As an NFL quarterback, Dillon Gabriel should realize this and either change his linemen's blocking assignments or audible to a play where he can get a short completion over the middle of the field. But Dillon Gabriel doesn't do that. Instead, Gabriel goes with the play as it was called, leaving his 5 linemen and his running back to block the impending pass rush, which they do very well, by the way. But the problem is that Gabriel panicked once he saw how much pressure New England was sending. He looks off his first read and immediately shifts his eyes to his right, where he has David Njoku on a slant that would get him the first down. Then Gabriel does the dumbest thing ever. I don't know if he thought Robert Spillane was blitzing after he bluffed to start the play, if he just didn't see him, or if he saw Spillane and still decided to throw this ball, thinking he could thread the needle in between a window that just didn't exist. But he throws this ball to Njoku and it goes right to Spillane, who picks it off and takes it all the way back to the 6-yard line, giving Drake May an easy scoring drive. No matter what Dillon Gabriel thought he saw there, that was the worst possible thing he could have done. And I truly believe that he assumed that he had minimal time to get the ball out of his hands, despite his offensive line doing their job. Hell, even if he threw the ball away, it would have been 4th and 7 and Cleveland could have punted the ball, giving New England some rough field position. But no, he throws the ball right to a defender who does everything but score the touchdown himself, putting Cleveland in a seemingly insurmountable position for absolutely no reason. The next play I'm going to go over today is on Cleveland's next drive, after New England scored an easy touchdown to go up 3 possessions, making this a very important drive late in the 3rd quarter for Gabriel and the Browns offense. Over here, they're in a different situation than they were in the last play, with this being a 1st and 10 from their own 24. But despite that, Dillon Gabriel decided to act like it was 3rd down and try to make up for the last play he made, and it completely screwed them. Once the ball snapped, every receiver on the Cleveland Browns had a route past the sticks, and instead of sitting in the pocket and waiting for a read to open up, Gabriel immediately rolled out to his left, basically eliminating 40% of the field and limiting his options before the play even had a chance to develop. As a result, New England's secondary focuses on one half of the field, and it ends up putting more bodies on the left side, really shrinking the field for Dillon Gabriel. Still, Gabriel's eyes didn't move. He stared down one receiver the entire time, rolled out to his spot, and just launched the ball down the field. But at this point, New England had already shrunk the field as a result of Gabriel rolling out as soon as the ball was snapped, resulting in his target being double covered down the field. Also, his target didn't even beat the guy who was manned up on him. I mean, he was absolutely blanketed here. Still, Gabriel tried to make a big play and give his receiver a chance, but this just resulted in yet another pick, making that 2 interceptions on his last 2 drives on decisions that just shouldn't have been made and could have easily been prevented. Maybe this is why Dillon Gabriel refuses to throw the ball down the field, because maybe he just can't. The last play I'm going to show you is maybe the most insane thing I've ever seen a quarterback do. The fact that Kevin Stefanski didn't immediately bench Dillon Gabriel after this is absurd. On 2nd and 9, with the ball on his own 2-yard line, Gabriel is in a position where he needs to protect the ball and just take easy yardage to create more room to work with. But that is not what happened here. Gabriel snaps the ball and is immediately faced with a 5-man blitz, with a delayed rusher on the left side that will eventually make it 6. The best thing Gabriel can do here is sit in the pocket and get the ball out quick, which he technically does, but he throws it to absolutely nobody, forcing a safety after an intentional grounding call. The thing is, he still had time in the pocket. This was completely unforced, and if you take a look at the all-22 angle of this play, you'll see the worst part about this entire play. He had a wide open tight end that, yes, in all fairness, was running a double move, but he's a professional football player, and he was also looking at the ball. If Gabriel were to hit him when his eyes are on the ball before his second cut, he would have had an easy first down, and the Patriots wouldn't have another 2 points on the board. I mean, that genuinely blows my mind. How could you possibly make a mistake like that as an NFL starting quarterback? Cleveland desperately needs a change after the bye, and it absolutely should start at the quarterback position. However, Kevin Stefanski has made it very clear that that won't be happening. Just listen to what he said when a reporter reporter asked him about giving Shedeur Sanders a shot.
Why wouldn't you give him an opportunity to go in there and play?
Obviously, my focus is where we are right now, Mary Kay. That's not my focus.
The fact that Dillon Gabriel has been this bad throughout his first 4 starts and his head coach is still sticking with him is absolutely insane to me. It's not like this is the first overall pick we're talking about. Dillon Gabriel was a 3rd round pick. You shouldn't have any ties to him. Plus, we went over it on the channel during the preseason. Shedeur Sanders looked better than him throughout the entirety of it. There is zero reason that Shedeur should not be getting an opportunity soon if Gabriel continues to play the way he does. And I guarantee you that the Cleveland offense will become a whole lot less one-dimensional. The Browns need a guy who can make a big play and add some creativity to their offense, not a guy who dinks and dunks all game and doesn't provide any threat to opposing defenses, especially now that Quinshon Judkins is dealing with a shoulder injury. I genuinely wouldn't be surprised if Kevin Stefanski is fired before the end of November. And if that happens, I firmly believe that whoever takes over as the interim head coach will give Shedeur a shot over Gabriel, and Shedeur will prove why it should have happened directly after the bye week. This is embarrassing quarterback play. This is embarrassing coaching, but realistically, it's the Cleveland Browns. Who would have expected any differently?